This is Casey Banks, and this is my presentation on the invasion of banality in corporate America that I have done for my Queen's University COM 616 class. First, I must apologize for my appearance, as 1 week ago today I was involved in a bicycle accident and broke my left arm, which has sent me into quite a whirlwind over the past week. I've been on some pretty high pain medications, and until this morning was on something very high, which kind of kept me in the bed for the last week. So I do apologize, as I hope I don't normally look like this. But anyway, it's important for me to complete this assignment and to reveal some of my findings from a paper that I have done. So I am now going to go into some findings from a paper I've done for this COM 616 class, where we learned a lot about the invasion of banality and what it means to let your public life influence your private life, and likewise. We're going to take a look especially at some corporations who have been involved in these kinds of cases, where a CEO has let his private life invade his public life and therefore made an impact not only on himself but also the company. During the presentation, we will specifically take a look at Best Buy, where Brian Dunn, who was the executive for Best Buy in 2012, resigned after he was caught having an inappropriate relationship with an employee. It is also important to note that Richard Schultz, another executive within the company, helped him hide this relationship instead of taking the matter to HR, which would have been the appropriate action. At Best Buy, employees within the company found this relationship that Dunn and his subordinate had to be quite inappropriate, and said that gave the impression that you had to sleep with the boss in order to get ahead. And although Dunn was let go from the company, he was given a $6.6 million severance package. So my question would be, what kind of message must that have sent to the other employees who were all already had a negative impression of this situation? After conducting extensive literature review for this paper, one theme that kept coming back to the forefront was that when public life is forced upon the private life and private life is forced upon the public, this is a fundamental communication ethics violation. There should be a clear delineation between a person's private life and their public life. In the case of the Best Buy executive, there were no longer boundaries between the executive and his employee. His work life became his private life when he allowed a subordinate to know him on a very personal level. Hannah Arendt coined the term invasion of banality, which happens when we make our private lives part of our public lives and lose the distinction between two. And when this happens, we are taking away their uniqueness and special nature, meaning that those special times and events that used to be only reserved for intimate moments are now accessible to the public sphere, i.e., romantic relationships in the office. Some other scholars take this concept a step further and claim that having too close of a relationship with someone in an authoritative role can even lead to a form of oppression. Could the Best Buy executive or the employee engaging in the affair have felt oppressed because their closeness was taking away their freedom? The main lesson that I learned from this paper is that in order to avoid an invasion of banality, one must focus on productivity and condition that provides a professional connection at work, avoiding the invasion of the deeply private and the public, and keeping attention away from gossip about others. Moreover, an organization is responsible for setting clear standards and expectations of work to ensure there is no room for interpretation. So yes, while it is important for individuals to make appropriate decisions for themselves It is also up to the corporate culture to not foster this kind of behavior and to have policies in place that keep this from happening. In the Best Buy scenario, his friend helped him cover up the situation, which just fostered the relationship and kept it going. Bottom line, leave your private life at home. Attend work with good intentions, dedication to the position in the company, and be careful when choosing how to interact with colleagues and especially subordinates. This example of Best Buy um, shows that when the executive overstepped his boundaries and blurred the lines between the private and public life, trouble ensued. He was forced out of the company. The man who helped him hide the situation was forced out of the company. And one can only assume that the woman is now seen differently by her colleagues. And Best Buy received negative attention in the media. Take heed to Hannah Arendt's warning and don't lose the distinction between your private life and your public life.